What if I told you that the most complex device in the known universe, the one sitting right between your ears, actually came with a user manual? And what if you've been using it your entire life, but you've never actually read the instructions? Well, in this explainer, we're going to open that manual. Look, if you've ever felt like you're just running on empty, struggling to focus, or just completely overwhelmed by everything modern life throws at you, you are definitely not alone. And I'm here to tell you, it's not a personal failure. It's actually a design problem.
Okay, let's really get into this. The main idea we're exploring today is actually pretty simple, but it is so profound. Your brain's hardware is ancient. It was forged in an environment that is totally different from the one we live in now, and that mismatch, that's the source of so many of our modern struggles.
So to understand how to operate our brains better, we first have to understand the world it was actually designed for. Let's take a look at our brain's ancient blueprint. Developmental molecular biologist John Medina, in his book Brain Rules, calls this the savannah brain. See, for millions of years, our survival depended on solving really immediate problems, like where's the food, or how do we not become food for a predator? And we did all of this outdoors, constantly on the move. That's the operating system we're all still running today. Now this slide, it really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? The contrast is just stark. Our ancestors walked up to 12 miles a day. Today, a lot of us sit for 8 hours or more. They faced intense short-term threats. We face the never-ending marathon of work deadlines and bills. Their sensory input was the natural world. Ours is just a fire hose of notifications, emails, and alerts. So, given this huge mismatch, what's the very first rule in our brain's user manual? It's incredibly simple: move. And we're not just talking about physical health here. We're talking about cognitive function. This is our brain's original and maybe most important piece of software. Medina really just puts it bluntly, right? And this isn't some minor effect. Exercise physically improves blood flow to your brain, and it unleashes these crucial chemicals like BDNF. You can think of it like miracle grow for your neurons. It's why, across the board, people who exercise regularly simply think better. It's this non-negotiable link between our bodies and our mind. And this slide really paints a clear picture of the difference. A sedentary brain is linked to slower reasoning and weaker memory. An active brain, on the other hand, we're talking sharper problem solving, enhanced long-term memory, and way better concentration. The science on this is just unbelievably clear. So how long do these amazing benefits last? This is just stunning. A long-term study from the University of Queensland found that high-intensity interval training in older adults led to cognitive improvements that were still measurable 5 years later. 5 years! That's not a temporary boost. That's a long-term upgrade for your brain. Okay, so movement is absolutely critical. But our savannah ancestors didn't just run all day long. They also recovered. And that brings us to the second crucial rule in the manual: engaging in the brain's essential maintenance cycle. We tend to think of sleep as the brain just shutting off for the night, but it's the exact opposite. Sleep is when your brain is hard at work. While you're resting, it's literally replaying the day's events, strengthening important connections, and locking in memories so you can learn. It's not downtime, it's essential processing time. And get this, you don't even need a full 8 hours to see the benefits of rest. In a famous NASA study, they wanted to see how much a simple 26-minute nap improved a pilot's performance. The answer? A massive 34%. That's a huge gain from such a short rest. It just shows you how vital these recovery periods are. Now, on the flip side, the cost of not getting enough sleep is, well, it's devastating. And this isn't just about feeling a little tired. As this list shows, sleep loss cripples your attention, it weakens your memory, it destabilizes your mood, and it even hurts your physical dexterity. In study after study, even a single night of bad sleep leads to a measurable drop in cognitive performance across the board. Right, so sleep is one half of recovery. The other half is managing stress. And this is where we hit that same mismatch problem all over again. Our stress response, that famous fight-or-flight system, is an absolute masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. For short-term threats, it was designed for a 5-minute sprint from a tiger, not a 5-year marathon of deadlines. So, what is it that turns normal, everyday stress into something toxic that actually damages the brain? Well, it's a specific recipe with 3 key ingredients. First, you have high demands. Second, you have low control. You feel powerless over the situation. And third, chronic exposure, where it just feels like it's never going to end. This is the perfect formula for a state called learned helplessness. And we can now see this damage at a biological level. Research shows chronic stress just floods the body with these inflammatory markers, things like TNF-alpha and IL-6. And what's really striking is that the levels of these cytokines are often correlated with how severe a person's depression is, suggesting this very real physical link between chronic stress and mood disorders. So, the crucial point is this: chronic, out-of-control stress isn't just a bad feeling, it is physically toxic. That constant flood of the stress hormone cortisol literally overloads and kills neurons in the hippocampus, the very part of your brain you need for learning and making new memories. To put it simply, severe stress causes physical brain damage. Okay, so we've seen how stress can damage our hardware, but it doesn't have to be this way. The user manual actually gives us the solution. It's about rebooting our modern brain by honoring its ancient code. This quote from John Medina it really sums it all up, doesn't it? We think we've evolved past our origins, that we're somehow separate from our biology, but we haven't. We're still those savanna creatures, and the rules that applied back then still apply right now. And this leaves us with a final, and I think, a really crucial question. The science is clear. The user manual is straightforward: move more, sleep well, and manage chronic stress. So why are the very institutions that are supposed to foster learning and productivity, our schools, our offices, so often designed to do the exact opposite? Why are we building worlds that are designed to break our brains?
All right, quick reset. Blink twice, stretch your shoulders, and don't worry, your health lesson isn't over yet. We're switching gears now, but this next topic is just as important for your body. And if you care about staying healthy the smart way, make sure you're subscribed.
You know, chances are you've got a bottle of these sitting on your kitchen counter. Gummy vitamins. They seem like such a fun, simple way to get your daily nutrients in, right? But today, we're going to peel back that colorful label and uncover a hidden truth that's, well, frankly, it's a little unsettling. And I get it, it's easy to see why they're just so popular. I mean, they look and taste like candy. So for kids, or even for adults who just hate swallowing pills, they seem like the perfect solution. And this has created this absolutely massive, booming market. It's all built on convenience and, let's be honest, a sweet taste. But what are we really getting for our money? And that quote right there, that's what really sparked this whole investigation. Because once you get past all the clever marketing, all the bright colors, and you actually examine the ingredients, a very different picture starts to emerge. So let's take a closer look at what could make these supplements so appalling. So what's the big deal? It's just a vitamin, right? Well, let's dive into this sweet deception and see what you're actually putting in your body every time you pop one of these gummies. Okay, so it really boils down to 2 huge problems with most gummy vitamins. First, the actual amount of the good stuff, the vitamins and minerals you think you're paying for, is often shockingly, almost laughably small. And second, the list of fillers is super long, and guess what ingredient is almost always at the top of that list? Yep, sugar. And listen, we're not talking about just a little sprinkle of sugar here to make it taste good. Sugar is a fundamental building block of most of these products. So instead of a health supplement, what you're often getting is a piece of candy that just adds to what some experts are calling the deadly glycemic burden that so many of us are already dealing with. So just how much sugar are we talking about here? Well, get this. Some of the most popular gummy vitamin products out there contain up to 4,000 milligrams of sugar in a single serving. That's 4 full grams. To put that in perspective, that's an entire teaspoon of pure sugar. But you know, the costs of these sugary supplements go way beyond just your health. In this next part, let's look at the hidden costs, the ones that hit you right in the wallet. Because it all comes down to this one simple question. When you buy these things, are you really paying for nutrients, or are you just paying for candy? All right, let's look at a real-world example so you can see exactly what I mean. Here's a cost breakdown comparing a popular gummy omega-3 supplement to just a standard fish oil soft gel. We're looking at the cost per milligram of the active ingredients, the EPA and DHA. That's the stuff that actually matters. Okay, are you ready for this? The difference is just staggering. You could be paying 18 times more for the exact same active ingredients when you choose the gummy version. No, that is not a typo. 18 times more. So let's just put it all together. You're paying a premium price for a product that gives you a trivial amount of nutrients and a dose of sugar you definitely don't need. It's a bad deal for your health, and it is a truly terrible deal for your wallet. Okay, so if gummy vitamins aren't the answer, then what is? Let's talk about a better, more foundational approach to health, one that actually focuses on building real functional strength. The sports nutritionist Marie Spano points to a much bigger health issue than some minor vitamin deficiency, and that's the loss of muscle mass and strength as we get older. This is a critical health challenge that no sugary gummy is ever gonna fix. Now, there's a medical term for this process. It's called sarcopenia. It's basically the natural, age-related loss of muscle. And before you think, oh, that's just for the elderly, you should know that it actually begins much earlier in life. How much earlier? Well, after you hit age 30, adults can lose between 3 and 8% of their muscle mass every single decade. And it's this gradual, slow decline that leads to things like frailty, loss of independence, and a much higher risk of falls later in life. So what's our defense against sarcopenia? How do we fight back? Well, it's not some complicated secret. As Marie Spano points out, study after study shows that a higher protein intake is an incredibly powerful tool to slow down that muscle loss. See, this is about foundational nutrition, not just trying to top up a few micronutrients. All right, let's get practical. Let's turn this knowledge into a real, actionable plan. In this final section, we're going to lay out a new supplement strategy that helps you move away from all that sugar and focuses on real substance for your body. The absolute key here is to choose high-quality protein. So what does that really mean? Well, it means the protein source has all the essential amino acids. Think of those as the critical building blocks that your body absolutely needs but can't produce on its own. They are non-negotiable for building and maintaining muscle. So where can you find this high-quality protein? Well, Marie Spano gives us a really clear list. For some fantastic animal-based proteins, you've got things like whey protein, seafood, and eggs. And for powerful plant-based options, you can look to things like pea protein isolate and brown rice protein. These are the things that give your body the actual tools it needs to stay strong. And all of this brings us to our final and maybe most critical question. I want you to just take a moment and think about your own health strategy. Right now, are you building it on a foundation of sugar, or are you investing in real lasting strength? The choice, of course, is yours.
All right, quick reset. Blink twice, stretch your shoulders, and don't worry, your health lesson isn't over yet. We're switching gears now, but this next topic is just as important for your body. And if you care about staying healthy the smart way, make sure you're subscribed.
You know, inside all of us, there's this incredible hidden network that's working around the clock. It's a silent guardian, a crucial system that, honestly, most of us never even think about. Until, maybe, something feels a little off. So I've got a question for you. What do you think is your body's most underrated system? I mean, we all know about the heart, right? We celebrate its constant rhythm. And our lungs, we're grateful for every single breath. But there's another hero in this story, one that's just as important. And yet, you probably guessed it, it's the lymphatic system. The best way to think about it is as the quiet, super efficient manager of your body's entire internal neighborhood. It handles the jobs that are absolutely essential for keeping you healthy and feeling good. Okay, so what exactly is this hidden network? Let's spend a few minutes pulling back the curtain to really see what the lymphatic system is, what it's made of, and what it's actually doing for you every single moment of the day. Honestly, the easiest way to get it is to picture your body's own built-in waste management and security system all rolled into one. I mean, how cool is that? It's in charge of both cleanup and defense, and that dual role is just fundamental to your health. And we're not just talking about a few random tubes here. This is a really complex and sophisticated network. It's got your lymph nodes, which are like little filtering stations, the lymphatic vessels that crisscross your entire body, and it even includes heavy hitters like your spleen, thymus gland, and bone marrow. It's a true full-body operation. Now, to really get what makes this system so unique, let's put it side by side with its more famous cousin, the cardiovascular system. Okay, so if your cardio system is like a high-pressure superhighway with a massive central pump, your heart, then your lymphatic system is more like a network of quiet, low-pressure side streets. And this highlights the most important difference of all. It has no central pump.
Zero. So wait a minute. If there's no heart to push all that fluid around, how does it even work? How does anything move? Well, this brings us to the really cool science behind its slow flow and the incredibly clever ways your body solves this huge engineering problem. This really gets to the heart of the problem. That fluid, which is called lymph, is carrying all sorts of stuff: waste products, toxins, and even your immune cells. If that stuff just sits there, you've got a major internal traffic jam that can mess up your whole system. So the body had to get creative. And the first solution is just beautiful in its simplicity. You are the pump. That's right. Every time you walk or stretch or even just tighten a muscle, you're literally squeezing those lymphatic vessels. And that physical contraction is what pushes the lymph fluid forward, one little squeeze at a time. But, and this is where it gets absolutely fascinating, the system doesn't just rely on you moving around. The lymphatic vessels themselves actually have smooth muscle built right into their walls, and get this, they contract all on their own. It's this amazing design that makes the system so resilient. It just keeps working, even when you're asleep or resting, making sure that cleanup crew never really stops. They've got their own rhythm, their own pulse, basically acting like millions of tiny little hearts pushing fluid through the network. And this isn't some slow, lazy process either. These vessels are pulsing anywhere from 3 to 20 times every single minute. It's this constant automatic pumping that keeps the whole system flowing, even when you're completely still. Pretty amazing, right?
All right, so now that we know the science, the big question is, what can we do with it? Knowing how the system works means we can actually help it out. So let's dive into 4 simple, clear ways you can boost your lymphatic flow starting today. Okay, tip number 1, and it's the big one, get moving. Bouncing on a little trampoline or rebounder is incredible because that up and down motion against gravity is like a super pump for your lymph. But hey, you don't need any special gear. Just going for a simple walk engages all those leg muscles. Even just standing up, rising onto your toes, and then dropping your heels creates a gentle vibration that helps get things flowing. Number 2, let's talk about food. The goal here is pretty simple: reduce inflammation in the body. When you do that, you're easing the workload on your body's cleanup crew. So that just means eating more whole foods. Think leafy greens, colorful berries, fatty fish, and trying to eat less of the highly processed, super salty and sugary stuff that can cause things to get a bit bogged down. Tip number 3 is so simple but is absolutely critical. Stay hydrated. I can't stress this enough. When you don't drink enough water, your lymph fluid actually gets thicker, almost syrupy, and that makes it way harder to move around. Water is what keeps it thin and flowing smoothly, just like it should. And finally, tip number 4. You can actually give the system a little manual boost. Things like dry brushing, where you use a dry brush in long, gentle strokes towards your heart, can really help stimulate that surface-level circulation. And for a more targeted approach, there's something called manual lymphatic drainage, or MLD, which is a really specific light massage designed to gently encourage the natural flow of lymph. So, here's the main takeaway. Supporting this incredibly vital system isn't about some huge, complicated life overhaul. Not at all. It's about a simple, daily tune-up built out of small, consistent habits. Seriously, just think of it as helping out your body's cleanup crew. I mean, you wouldn't let trash pile up in your house for weeks, right? The same idea applies here. It's the small things, a short walk, that extra glass of water, choosing a fresh apple over a bag of chips, that all add up over time to keep this essential system running beautifully. And really, that just leaves us with one final question. Now that you see how important this system is, and just how simple it can be to give it a little support, the only thing left to ask is this: what's one thing you'll do to support your body's cleanup crew today?
Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, small choices create big changes. Keep nourishing your health with love and consistency. See you in the next Vital Elixir video.